Welcome to D&D Kinda. This is a podcast where we play D&D and we drink and we have a good time.
We kind of play D&D.
I'm glad that you're here, Josh. It's nice to have you.
So Bartholomew, Benedict, Hamilton, and Topher are all standing behind Vyswine. As they see Vyswine's hand extended behind him slightly, he is urging all of you to settle. As you guys can hear rustling of the plant life around you, there's something in the darkness that you guys cannot see. Hamilton, beside you, from the bushes and the plants, there's a small dog that comes out of the bushes. And
How small?
Well for me, no, you're a gnome, so it's probably like up to your chest. I mean, it's relatively large
Little
to you.
boy.
Yeah, it's probably stands like 3 or 4 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
boy.
And it runs up to you and it starts to sniff you.
Yeah.
It does not bark.
I would like to pet the dog.
So it starts to sniff. So you want to reach down and pet it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I want to pet the dog.
So you reach down to pet the dog, and as you do, it kind of like it gets taken aback, and it like it's scared of you,
Okay.
and it kind of like shudders back. So what do you do?
I want to lay down on the ground
I fucking knew it. I knew that was gonna happen.
and try to be as non-intimidating as I possibly can be, and gesture the dog to come to me, and not go towards it to scare it anymore.
Okay, so you go ahead and lay down on the ground, and go ahead and make a performance check.
That's an 18.
Okay, so you lay down on the ground very unassumingly, and you kind of look over at the small dog, and you kind of like put your hand out and kind of do a little motion to it. And as you put your hand out, you're trying to let him like sniff it, get used to you a little bit.
Yeah.
And he kind of walks up, and seeing that you're on the ground, the dog kind of feels like he's now in control of the situation.
Yeah.
So he kind of like comes over and he starts to sniff you, and he's trying to like, he's getting used to your smell. And then Vyswine turns around, and with a stroke of his arm, turns around and bats the dog into the weeds.
Bad move, Vyswine.
He turns around and looks at Hamilton and points his finger at him and says, "Do not leave yourself open." And as he swings his hand, and as he's saying this, you turn around, and at the end of his hand, this small dog has latched onto his hand and has grown 4 times its size, and has sunk its hand into his scales as he yells. And everyone roll initiative.
Oh shit. Fucking Jed with the
I
cute
don't
dog.
want to kill this goddamn dog.
Fuck.
That's a 10.
All right, so everyone give me your rolls.
Oh, I need to roll still.
Hamilton rolled a
All right,
10.
Yeah.
10.
20, but not a nat 20.
Christopher rolled a 4. Josh, what'd you roll?
I rolled a 10.
2 10s.
No, just one.
You got burned.
I am literally not even the slightest bit amused by that.
Yeah, well, I am.
So we have Bartholomew with the 20. We have Hamilton with the 10. We have Christopher with a 4. And Benedict.
You got a 10. You rolled a 10. Yeah.
2 10s.
110.
God. You both got 10s?
Yeah, they both got 10s.
I was going to say, you
I'll
make
answer
it
that
or
for
I'll put you at a fucking 1.
I'll be a crit fail. Fail me.
You already are a critical fail.
Nothing I've never heard before, so.
Mom?
Doesn't count. She is also a crit fail.
All right, so Hamilton just saw this small animal just get smacked off the top of him by this giant dragonborn Vyswine. And as he did, his hand slapped this dog And as his hand hit this animal, it transformed into this beast, as tall as Vyswine is, with a vicious grip with his jaws on his hand. Bartholomew, what do you want to do? You're first in the order.
My first action is to look at this new adversary who was just moments ago a cute stray dog. Is there any perception that I might be able to do to kind of get some insight onto this person and maybe some potential vulnerabilities?
Make a history check for me.
History would be a 1.
Like critical fail?
No, just 1.
Okay. Bang. Oh, 2 minus 1. Okay. Yeah. So you've seen this, and as you're processing what you're seeing, there is no recollection of any memory that you, in your knowledge, that has any idea of what this is.
Okay, so my first point of order is to I'm going to cast Bless on Topher, Hamilton, and Benedict.
All right, so you cast Bless on Bartholomew, Christopher, and Hamilton, and they all feel empowered. Next in the order is the large dog-like creature that has a hold of Vyswine's hand, and he is being swung. He is still large, but he is still being swung by Vyswine as he is of equal stature to you. Very, very tall, very big, very muscular. As the large dog-like creature sinks his teeth in, Vyswine rips his hand out of his mouth, and before the creature can sink its bite all the way into him, Vyswine manages to slip his hand out with very minimal scraping, as he has scales, and it's able to slide off before it does significant damage. So next in the order, as you guys see this happening and this dog-like creature slides off, I'm going to go ahead and need Christopher make a Constitution saving throw.
My roll plus my Constitution plus my Bless is a 6.
Oh my god. Okay. Oh my god. All right.
That's bad.
So as you were standing near the front, as you were up near Vyswine, and you just saw this dog-like creature kind of be flown off of Vyswine's hand, and as this happens, you see this, and from behind you, another large dog-like creature tackles you to the ground. And you are now on your back, and this thing is in front of you, and he takes a bite at your neck.
Great.
That is a 9. Probably not going to hit.
No, does not hit.
Okay. So he takes a bite at you, and he takes a bite at you, and as you see him coming, you're very attuned to the situation, and you roll out from underneath of him, and he misses you.
So am I prone, or did I get back up after that?
No, you're not prone.
I'm not prone. Okay, cool.
Nope. So you roll left and you stand up, and now there are 2 large dog-like creatures that you are all attuned to.
Okay.
Hamilton and Christopher, you guys are now standing there with your backs, facing the dog-like creatures, and all of you guys are kind of circling these. And now I need Hamilton make a Constitution saving throw with disadvantage.
With disadvantage?
Yes.
Plus Bless.
Yep, plus Bless.
Plus Bless.
It's going to be a 16.
With disadvantage, it's a 16.
Yes.
God, I don't even know how that works. So you hear rustling coming from the leaves behind you. And as you hear this, you immediately turn around. And towering over you is one of these dog-like creatures. And he is leaping through the air, about to pounce down on top of you. Luckily, you are not of tall stature, and it gives you enough time to skirt slightly to the left, and he lands on the ground next to you. He is wielding a scimitar, and he takes a swipe at you.
Whoa. Is this a fucking werewolf in here? Like,
Michael J. Fox.
what?
So that is a 10. I'm assuming that's not going to hit.
Just barely.
Okay. So he takes a swipe at you with a scimitar, and luckily your adrenaline is pumping, and you had just dodged this attack, and you are ready for what's next. He comes down on top of you, aiming directly for your head, and luckily you were able to continue to skirt slightly left and get out of the way of this.
Skirt.
Next in the order, Benedict.
Sup?
What do you want to do?
I want to take my scimitar and take a chop at its fucking legs.
Okay, so he is standing next to you, and he is watching. He's like zoned in on your brother.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm saying.
You taking this will actually give you advantage on the attack.
All right. So that's going to be a 21.
Okay. Go ahead and give me the damage on that.
Fuck. That's going to be a 3.
Okay.
Yeah, bro.
So 3 damage.
Yeah.
So you hit this large dog-like creature that had just attempted to take a swipe at Hamilton, and you dig this scimitar into the side of this guy's thigh, and blood begins to come out, and the dog makes a loud yelp, and he...
That was the dog.
Oh, damn. Okay. That was good. All right.
That was me. That wasn't the soundboard.
Jesus, that was great. All right. And as he does, he begins to limp.
What a bitch.
This large dog-like creature now has limited movement and disadvantage on any stealth.
Tight.
All right, Hamilton, you're up. What do you want to do?
Is he still within reach of me?
Yes, you guys are all within a couple feet of each other.
Okay. Obviously I'm close enough, but is he wearing armor or is he just dog?
They're bear.
Bear. Okay.
They're dogs, not
They're
bears.
bears or dogs?
Which one? They are wearing no armor.
Okay. Wow. That is terrifying.
That is actually ancient draconic for hurry the fuck up. Like,
I guess Hamilton's going to cast Eldritch Blast.
which one is he attacking?
The one that Benedict just attacked.
Okay.
The one that came after me.
So is that as a ranged spell attack?
It is
correct?
a ranged spell attack.
Okay.
yes.
Do I have to roll against that, or do you have to beat? Does that beat my AC? How does that work?
So make a
my
ranged
AC.
spell attack. So that's me rolling against you.
Okay, go for it.
So that's going to be a 21.
21. All right. So go ahead and give me the damage on that. That's definitely gonna hit.
Okay. So that's going to be 1d10 plus 3 damage, and then I add my charisma modifier.
To the damage?
To the
God,
damage.
Nice.
Yes. Yeah, to the damage. So that will be 9 damage total,
Okay.
and it will knock him back 10 feet in a straight line away from me.
So your Eldritch Blast comes from your quarterstaff. It hits this giant dog-like creature standing on his hind legs, and it right in the chest, and he just immediately flies backwards, and he lands against the tree, and he hits and he falls about 7 feet away from you. He takes an additional 2 damage from the hit against the tree as he was still flying backwards. And you can see him still in the light, and this dog-like creature is bloodied, very bloodied. Christopher, as you are preparing, you are sitting there watching exactly what's going on, waiting to strike, and as you are about to make your move, I need you and Bartholomew and Vyswine will all make Constitution saving throws. Vyswine rolled a nat 20.
Nice. 14. Christopher rolled a 14.
18.
18. Very nice. Okay. So, as you guys are standing there, you guys begin to hear something. Bartholomew and Vyswine, you look up and you see there's a branch, large tree that is falling. And you guys both dive out of the way. Vyswine was very aware of it, dove out of the way, and as he was diving with his scimitar, took a swiping hit at the legs of one of the large dog-like creatures that had jumped out before, and dealt 3 damage. Bartholomew, you dive out of the way, and you are clear of this. Christopher, this thing lands on top of you, knocks you down for 4 damage, and you are now prone.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out laces.
And from the treetops above you, 2 more large dog-like creatures drop down from the treetops.
Shit.
And Christopher, it is now your turn.
So I'm going to take my movement and I'm going to stand up. And if you have a problem with me taking just my movement and standing up, you can email me and tell me how how shittily I'm playing D&D. But this is called D&D Kinda. So
It's actually, you can email him at gofuckyourself@dndkinda.com.
Actually, it's I'll give you my real email, but I'm not gonna, But anyway, but I'm gonna stand up. Okay, so I'm on my feet, and I look towards the 2 main dog-like creatures that first attacked us. I close my eyes, and I rub my hands together slowly. It gets faster and faster and faster.
So this is the gladiator?
No. It's like Mr. Miyagi.
Friction.
And with my eyes closed, I point one hand towards the bloodied animal, the other towards the one that's not bloodied. And I cast command.
Okay, what do we need to beat?
14.
14?
Yeah.
You extend your hand, and there is like a invisible force that extends from both of your outstretched hands.
I feel like this isn't going to hit.
And as it moves forward, the cunning of these dogs, their intuition is on point, and they just kind of like get pushed back by it a little bit, and they just kind of shake it off, and you feel you have no control over these creatures.
Skull splitter dice. Get you some.
So,
Hell yeah!
so the spell doesn't land, and I still stand there, and I'm not going to move. I'm just still focusing, hoping that something will change before my next turn. It's like, damn it, Bobby!
Daniel,
Literally hear the hernia forming.
I prolapse a bit. It falls out.
oh god!
Benedict has to come over and shove it back up inside me.
Oh man! It's a
Doesn't ease it.
but yeah, I use that as a second level spell. So, and the
'cause
reason
you're
I did
aiming
that,
at 2 people.
yeah, because the first level you can only do 1, second level you can do 2.
Okay.
So.
Cool. So next in the order is Vyswine. And Vyswine had already leaped back and had taken a swipe at this large dog-like creature, the original one that had attacked him.
Because
had
of the
done,
nat 20.
Yep. He was able to take a swipe as he was getting out of there.
Nice.
And he is going to actually, as he's standing there readied, he is actually going to take another attack against this creature.
I knew I was friends with this person for a reason.
What a guy.
What a solid muff.
He pulls back his greatsword, and he swipes yet again both hands at this creature. These are vicious rolls. That is a 22. That is gonna hit. So Vyswine's greatsword comes down swiftly right into the shoulder of this large dog-like creature, and it yelps so loudly. And as it does, the blood just shoots out of it, and it takes 12 damage from this sword as Vyswine viciously rips it out of his muscle. And he falls on the ground, and he is prone and is now moving on all 4 legs again. Still just as large. All right, top of the order, Bartholomew. What's going on?
So he attacked one of the 2 new dogs that came down from the branch that fell.
No, he attacked the original one. That was the one that he actually attacked whenever he got his natural 20.
Okay.
So
there were 2 dogs that came down in the branch fall, though, right?
yes,
2
there
new
are
ones.
now 5 large.
One of them is very hurt. One of them is fucking suffering.
One of them is bloodied. The other one is very bloodied, and the other 2 have taken no damage.
So
or the other 3. I'm sorry.
one of the 3 that have taken no damage. How close am I to them?
You are within 5 feet of 2 of them, and the other you are about 10 feet away from.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna jump and roll straight to the one that's closest to me, and I'm
Okay.
gonna reach up to him and I'm gonna touch him right on the side.
Okay.
And right when I touch him on the side, I'm gonna cash. I'm gonna cash out all of my bonds, and I'm gonna
He's gonna retire. He's going home.
I'm
It's the end of the episode. Good night, everybody.
Fuck this. I'm retired.
I'm retired.
Oh my god.
So I'm gonna roll toward them and just place my hand right up on the side of this dog that looks flawless. He has no damage at all. And right when I place my hand on him, I'm gonna cast Inflict Wounds. Inflict Wounds is a melee spell attack against a creature you can reach. On hit, the target takes 3d10 necrotic damage, and its range and area is touch.
Okay.
I
So
think that means I have
the only
touch.
roll I'm going to make you do here is I'm going to make you do an acrobatics check with advantage to try to make sure you can stick this landing to get right up next to him.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm rock hard.
Did you say 3D?
And, yeah, dude, inflict wounds is a great spell.
I would say
You have advantage.
inflicted something.
Okay, so you successfully roll right up to beside this guy, and he is getting ready to swipe at you with his claw, and you put your hand on him and you cast inflict wounds and give me that damage roll.
Swiper, no swiping. Skadoosh.
13.
13. All right.
13.
Pretty fucking shitty. I got a 0 on one of them.
How do you get a 0?
The 0
No,
on
the
that
0
dice
is
a
10, not.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
23.
Welcome to
23.
Welcome to D&D,
Okay.
kinda everybody.
We're really good.
I
at
just
D&D.
assume that I'm the shittiest, so I take the lowest number.
Oh.
Nope.
So you reach out and you place your hand on this dog-like creature's leg, and as you do, you whisper your spell under your breath. And as you do, this thing deteriorates and turns to a pile of ash
Holy
in
shit.
front of you.
God.
Don't fuck with me.
I am fucking rock solid.
Next in the order is the original large dog-like creature that you guys saw.
He's pretty hurt.
He is very hurt. He is taken significant amount of damage. He's looking bloodied. This dog-like creature reaches behind him, and he pulls out what appears to be a flask, and he takes a giant swig of whatever it is that is in his flask, and immediately you see his eyes turn bloodshot red, and his muscles start to rip out of his skin, and he grows almost double in size.
He's huge right now. He's a big old cuddly puppy.
That being said, the wound that was inflicted as he is growing, the wound on his shoulder starts to split open more widely, and more blood starts to gush out as he gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
As this creature grows, just an insanely sinister size, he turns and leans in and takes a bite at you, Hamilton. Well, I gave him advantage on that attack because he's so big and it'd be easier for him to hit you, but I rolled a 3 both times. So he takes a bite at you, and you kind of jump out of the way, being very small and seeing it coming. He takes another bite at you, and he misses yet again as you narrowly escape the clenching of his jaws. So next in the order is one of the large dog-like creatures that has yet to be attacked. And he is standing next to Vyswine, and Vyswine, having done significant damage to one of his companions, takes a giant bite at Vyswine. That is definitely not going to hit. Also, only
Hell
a 4.
yeah, Vyswine.
So Vyswine jumps backwards and dodges this. And then next in the order is the other dog-like creature that is extremely bloodied.
Pissed.
He is also prone. He's going to stand up, and he is going to throw his scimitar at Bartholomew. So I rolled a 14 plus a 2, so that's a 16 versus your AC.
16 is my armor class.
So that means that it does hit. So as this hits you, it's flying towards you, and you see it coming. You put your arm up to block it, and it gashes into your arm as you kind of deflect it, but it cuts you deep, and it does 7 damage. So Benedict, you just saw Bartholomew take a deep cut. What do you want to do?
First cut is the deepest.
Or so they say.
Maybe I know.
So Benedict makes a bunch of dumb jokes. All right.
Okay, the bloodied motherfucker, I want to just fucking take a big slash at its fucking forehead.
Okay.
Or
He had
hit
just
my
recently re-entered your range, so if you'd like to
I'm about to enter him with my scimitar.
go for it, man.
Nat 20!
Oh,
Nat
snap.
fucking 20!
Oh, man.
All right. Give me that damage roll.
It's gonna be a 4.
4 damage.
Yeah.
So it's 8 damage.
Hell yeah.
So where are you aiming? You want to narratively explain what you're doing since you had such a good roll.
All right, so
Give you this.
I see that Hamilton's got a handle on this fucking other bloodied ass wolf dog, big ass dog. And what I do is I see him weird ass dog through a scimitar at somebody. Still appalling to me. And I'm just like, oh fuck, I have a scimitar. So I'm going to like turn around and just like whoop out.
Just right in the face.
Just right in the fucking face, dude. Just come down and just be like, what's up?
Okay. So, all right. So this
Right in the nose.
this large dog-like creature is very aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
You're not super tall.
Yeah, he's about to
So-
get fucked up though.
So he actually turns his head sideways to try to bite your hand as this is coming down at him.
You ready for it?
And he misses. And you slash this sword right through his jaw and cut his face in half. And
In half.
as his head slides off of your blade and off, and you flick it off into the grass and kick his body onto the ground.
It's metal.
I'm rock hard right now.
And he is dead.
Yes, he is.
Did.
Did. I did it.
Benedict, you just murked the ever-living hell out of this guy.
Yeah, dicked him down.
And he's dead. He was actually next in the initiative, so good on you.
Hell yeah.
Next in the order is one of the large dog-like creatures that actually fell from the trees. And he is going to take a swipe at Christopher with his scimitar. All right, that's another 9. So
Nope.
this guy takes a swipe at you and clearly misses, and as you dodge out of the way. So Hamilton, what do you want to do?
Am I within range of any of the dogs?
Yes.
How many?
The only one that you're out of range of is the very large one.
Okay.
The other 2 are within attack range.
How close am I to the river?
The river is probably a good, 25, 30 feet away.
Yeah, I'm going to risk it.
Okay.
I want to run to the river, and I will let you take your opportunity attacks before I do anything else.
Okay. Looks like one of those will probably hit. One was a 7 and the other one was a 19.
Yeah, that'll hit. The 19.
Okay. That is 8 damage.
Okay.
Ouch town. Population you, bro.
So you take off running down towards the river out of attack range, and one of them sees you taking off and takes advantage of the opportunity to hit you and swipes, and it kind of cuts through your back. Not enough to do any lasting damage, but you do take 8 damage from the slash. All right, so you're running down towards the river.
Yes. So I want to get close enough to the water, and I want to take my quarterstaff, and I want to dunk the head of my quarterstaff into the waters. And then turn around, put the quarterstaff in between my legs, and while crotch gesturing at the largest dog wolf thing, cast Eldritch Blast from my quarterstaff.
All right, so Hamilton reaches his staff out, and he puts it in the tip of the water. And as he does this, he notices something happening to his quarterstaff. And it is absorbing water, so it just kind of, he can tell it's kind of thickening as the water, it is just imbuing his staff. And as he pulls it backwards, his staff starts to grow. And it goes from being a quarterstaff to half staff. No, I'm just kidding. It starts to absorb this water, and as it does, there are streaks of red that show up in between the grains in the woods. And as he looks at it, he can feel it. And go ahead and make an Arcana check for me.
That is going to be a 21.
Okay, so you can feel the magic being imbued in this quarterstaff. And as this happens, you kind of look at it and you feel it, and this thing has now evolved. It is now has an elemental power. And every attack that you take with this that lands has 1d4 fire damage attached to it.
Yes!
So, not knowing this, because you had already stated what you were going to do.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't know this at this point. You went ahead and what did you want to do again?
I want to tuck it up tightly in between my legs, right up against my crotch. And I want to stare that big demon red-eyed wolf thing right in the eyes and just crotch hump right in his direction.
Okay.
With the staff. And right as I do, Eldritch Blast! And just...
So you're about 30 feet away from this thing. Eldritch Blast has a pretty large range, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's like 120 feet.
Okay,
God
so
damn.
go ahead and make the attack roll.
You should be
on
a
that
porn
one.
star.
Oh, that's going to be a 22.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely going to hit. Go ahead and give me the attack damage on that.
These. 14.
Okay, so you tuck your quarterstaff in between your legs, and as you're like pulling it down, you see the red moist part of the stick. As you just had pulled it from the water, and you stick it between your legs, and without even noticing what exactly is happening, you fire your Eldritch Blast, and as you do, this beam of green light shoots out of your quarterstaff, and there is a circling red fire surrounding it as it travels towards this beast. And he turns towards the Eldritch Blast that is shooting towards him with the fire, and it hits him, and he catches flame. And it does an additional D6 damage. That is 3 damage on top of the already 14 damage that you had done.
Yes.
It hits him, it knocks him backwards onto the ground, and he catches flame. You hear an extremely loud growl and howl come from this creature. And as he gets hit, he catches flame, and mid-air, he disintegrates into ash. As the other creatures see the leader of their group disintegrated into the air, they take off running, howling, and crying back into the forest where you cannot see them.
Well, now I feel
And you
bad.
guys have defeated the Jackalware Horde.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
It is Thanksgiving.
Quite.
Thank you again for tuning in to D&D Kinda. This is episode 8.
Thank you. You guys have been fucking rad.
I don't know how you put up with... I can barely put up with listening to these people do this as the Dungeon Master. I don't know how you, the listener, put up with listening to us deal with each other.
I don't know how I've lived this long with myself.
Oh, man. So, while we're here talking about D&D and the things we love, we want to tell you about a couple of our sponsors that helped us get good at playing D&D. Now, it's questionable whether or not we're good at playing D&D.
We're not.
But we just happen to think that because we spend money on cool accessories that we just happen to be good at it.
I just rely on the good story. I'm not good at playing D&D, so I'm hoping at least half of the
I would actually venture to say that if we were good at playing D&D, it probably wouldn't be a good podcast.
You're right.
So first sponsor I want to tell you about, SuperFly Games. SuperFly Games was nice enough to allow us to use their easy and customizable sound control application called RPG Sounds
RPG Sounds.
Fantasy.
Yep.
It is a free app that has tons of cool sounds on like a soundboard that you can put in. All of that, all the sound effects that we use are real time.
That makes the story whenever you get into battles and like really intense parts awesome.
It really
because
does.
Through the headphones here, we've got that going, and the story just gets really intense.
Yeah,
and that's why we record for like 10 hours straight, is because we just get so involved in that story. And thank you to them for allowing us to use that.
Yes, and it is a free app. You can get it on the iOS marketplace. Also, if you have the app and you like it, pay the $1 for the extra. You get tons of extra content, and you get to use a customizable soundboard. So you can even add your own stuff to it.
Yes.
So it's only $1. Give it a shot. Huge shout out to SuperFly Games for letting us use their application. The next sponsor I want to tell you guys about, you guys have all heard us roll them. You guys will hear us talking about them. Skull Splitter Dice. So Skull Splitter Dice has plastic and metal dice available to all of you tabletop gamers out there. They're a lot of fun. They come in every shape and color and all this kind of stuff. If you want a set, if you need one dice, if you just want a metal D20 to go with your set, you can buy them individually. You can buy them as a set. You can buy them as a set with a metal tin to store them in with little foam inserts. Great dice. They roll great for me. Sometimes good for everyone else. I've never had a problem with them, but
I don't know what it is, but it's based on the session. One session, like, and I've got multiple sets that I use, and I always use the Skull Splitter, but there's some times where I'm rolling with them and it just seems like I just can't do anything, so I'll switch to the other ones, and it's the same way, so it's just got to be me and not the dice. So.
Well, if you would like to get yourself a set of these sweet Skull Splitter dice, these nice metal, good weighted dice, you can go on our website at 13palmtrees.com/DND kinda. There's a link there for our sponsors, one of them being Skull Splitter Dice. If you click on the link there, it takes you straight to their website, and anything that you purchase on there, 13 Palm Trees will get 15% of the proceeds, and you will get some sweet dice.
Yes.
So also, down there in our sponsorship section on our website, you can get some sweet Elderwood Academy merch. Elderwood Academy, Daniel, if you didn't know, you probably knew. You didn't know. You're stupid.
I don't know what I'm not supposed to know or anything like that, but I am very stupid.
So Elderwood Academy makes nice, custom, handmade tabletop gaming accessories.
Yes.
Everything is customized in the sense that you can choose your own wood, you can choose the engravings, you can choose what kind of inserts each thing has. They have hex chests, which hold your dice, and nice little custom carved out inserts. They have spell books that you can open up that hold your spell cards, hold your dice, they hold your rolling trays.
They sent us a spell book, and it's fucking sweet.
Yeah, it is.
Like, it looks so nice, and it's
genuine.
Just, like, we don't even use
bound.
it. It's literally on display in our studio because it looks so damn nice.
Yeah, it's genuinely leather bound, solid mahogany book. You open it up with metal inserts for a rolling tray. It's got dice inserts for you to put your dice in, a spot for your spell cards, all kinds of stuff. They sell all kinds of cool stuff like that, all custom made that you can design on their website. They take a little while to ship, but that's the cost of quality. So get on there, 13palmtrees.com/DND kinda. Get yourself some tabletop gaming accessories from Elderwood Academy. And again, we will harvest 15% of the proceeds.
You're supposed to turn your phone on silent there.
I'm sorry, that was my fault. So check those out. And while we are talking about our sponsors, we're going to talk about one of our other podcasts. Wasted Local Talent has something for you that you can get involved in for free. Tell us about that a little bit, Daniel.
Well, I host Wasted Local Talent, if you didn't know. Basically, Wasted Local Talent is a podcast where me and sometimes Jed interview local bands and businesses that are local to, the West Virginia. And we're doing a Christmas giveaway. And basically, we're just getting donations from local bands and businesses. And we're doing on December 23rd, we're going to do a drawing. And we're going to be giving away a bunch of free shit. And there's a bunch of different ways you can enter. You can visit any of our social media accounts. I still need to update the website with the information, but it has all the contest entries, rules, and the ways you can enter. And you can enter potentially 6 times. So we're going to be drawing on December 23rd, like I said. Just go to Wasted Local Talent on Facebook and Instagram, and then Wasted Local on Twitter. You can see all the information there. And if you'd like to donate, if you're a local band or business that would like to donate, just get a hold of us, wastedlocaltalent@gmail.com with what you would like to donate. And if you do donate, you actually get 4 free ad spots in Wasted Local Talent. So,
Ooh, ad spots. You know what's awesome about ad spots? They're forever. You are literally engraved in our content for as long as it exists. So at least 2 months.
and one of the options for our grand prize giveaway is we will name an NPC after you in D&D kinda. So you could potentially get killed by one of us in D&D.
Yes.
Or molested, depending on what we decide to do.
You never know with this group of people. So if you want to, if you're a band, if you have your own business, if you're a local artist, anything that you have that you would want to donate to that, feel free to jump in. Feel free to enter. We'd love to have it. 13 Palm Trees growth is entirely attributed to you, the listener, and we couldn't do it without you guys. So check out our cool sponsors, Elderwood Academy, D&D Kinda, SuperFly Games, and then give Wasted Local Talent a check out, as well as our other podcasts on our network, Video Game Mythos and Gurus of Gaming. Mm-hmm. So, you have anything else, Daniel? Or should we let everyone get back to the episode?
Well, I forgot that all the details about the giveaway are actually in podcast form on all social media, or not social media, all podcast sites. So you can actually just search for Wasted Local Talent, and instead of searching for us on social media, just go listen to it.
It's the catchiest little thing.
It's great. I didn't feel like recording it, so I just did text speech from my laptop and made it say everything for me.
That is the laziest, most awesome thing I've ever heard.
It actually took way more work.
So speaking of extremely lazy and dumb, let's get back to Jed in D&D Kinda.
Let's do it.
Thanks, everyone. So as the last of the jackal wares run off into the woods, out of sight, Vyswine pulls his greatsword back and reaches up and grabs a leaf off of the nearest tree and swipes the blood off of his sword and slides it over his shoulder and back into the hilt. So what do you guys want to do?
I would say that after a battle that's still early in the day and we didn't take a long time during that battle, we shouldn't take a rest. I think we should keep moving and just try to get to where we're going, because
yeah, I mean, you guys really have no idea what time it is, because you've lost sense of time. You can't, it's just
no
dark.
light.
There's no light.
No, there is light.
I could use,
you know what I mean. Like, there's no natural light.
What is it?
I could use a heal.
Can you use a heal?
Yeah, I took 8 damage.
You took 8. Okay, well, I'll go ahead and cast.
I took 6.
Let's take a short rest then.
So we could either take a short rest, or I could just heal everybody real quick. I can cast a healing spell that'll, it'll kind of expend me a little bit, but I'll be willing to do that to heal the party. If anybody has any objections to me healing everybody, speak now or forever hold your penis.
I say go ahead and heal the party.
You do whatever your heart desires, you sweet man.
Okay, so I'm going to cast Prayer of Healing on myself, Hamilton, and Bartholomew.
Oh, yeah.
16 health. 16 HP.
Total for everybody.
Yeah, for everybody.
It's pretty good.
Okay, so yeah, I healed them, and we're going to continue on through the forest. My shield is still lit as fuck, and I'm just running. I'm not running. I'm pushing through the forest on the way to the mountain.
So Vyswine steps forward and says, I recommend we tighten our formation as we move. And everyone kind of tightens up and moves, and
I grab Hamilton by the tuft of his shirt and hold him like a baby, and just he's facing backwards, and I'm going. So I've got my shield in my left hand and Hamilton in my right hand, and I'm just trudging through this. blaring light.
Hamilton protests. Even though there's nothing that he can do, you can still hear him yelling over your shoulder, saying, I am a powerful warlock. I will not be handled in such a way.
As our formation grows tighter, Bartholomew walks close behind Topher, and he hears the cries of Hamilton, and he reaches down over Topher's shoulder. With a caring hand, he reaches out to Hamilton and allows him to grab hold. Does Hamilton grab hold?
Yes, Hamilton grabs hold.
Hamilton grabs hold of my hand, and I lift him up on my shoulder.
Well, fuck Topher, right?
Fuck you, Topher.
Hamilton casts angry glances at Topher.
So you guys all begin to move, and there's really no time to lose. You guys are surrounding you. You guys can still hear the howls and the cries of the jackal wares in the woods. And you guys, like I said, with the tight formation, continue to move. An hour's passed. You guys have really lost all sense of time, and the only direction you have is the river that is to the left of you.
And I pause at the end of a small brief moment and walk over to the river and touch it, and just to feel it, to gauge its energy and its aura.
It's growing extremely hot, like almost untouchable. As you guys have been walking, the trees have been growing thicker, the leaves are denser, the life is just, it's almost to the point where it's becoming unbearable to trudge this terrain because it's almost intraversable. So
We need to get to this mountain quick. Mount Hubba Wubba. What's the mountain called again?
Hot all of a sudden.
It's called Hubba Wubba.
hot to now.
Hot now.
It's hot now.
It is super hot now.
Sometimes they think that I'm better
Super
now.
hot.
Super hot.
Can I ask where we are right now as far as like
Nope.
You really
the
have
woods?
You have no bearing as to what portion of the river you guys
Listen,
are
most
at.
of this he's going to
I
forget
have an excellent
and
memory.
perceive it differently next episode. So
I have an excellent memory for maps and geography, and I can always recall the general layout of terrain, settlements, and other features around me.
All right, I'm going to totally reward that level of dedication to your character.
Tight.
And you're dead. No, I'm just kidding.
he rewarded us.
He rewarded the rest of the party.
Shit.
Farted on my D&D character.
She farted on my D&D character.
Clouds form above you.
Clout
Simba.
So,
Superman,
as Vyswine is leading you guys on this pathway, Benedict, on the far side of the river, just barely still being bathed in the light that is emanating from Christopher's shield, you notice that there's a fork on the other side of the river where it branches off into a new stream. And you immediately recognize this as being something you saw on the map earlier. You reach out and you call to Vyswine and ask to see his map. And he obliges. As he shows you the map, you notice that the fork in the river you see on the map lends way to the fact that you guys are approximately maybe an hour's trip still from the mountain. You're very close. So as you guys are approaching the mountain, about 45 minutes passes, and you guys start to feel rumbling as the ground starts to shake. And you guys are, based on Bartholomew, to what you had seen and what you had explained to your party about the mountain begin to erupt, you start to hear explosions, and everyone is becoming attuned to the fact that you are very close to the mountain. So do you guys continue? Just gonna keep on trudging through?
Oh yeah. Do we see any fire?
Not yet. Not yet.
What about brimstone?
No.
Okay. Yeah, keep going.
I'm sure if brimstone landed in the middle of the forest this heavily wooded, you would see fire very shortly after. So as you guys continue on, your trek gets even harder. The forest is thicker than it's been. It's darker than it's been. And again, the only light is coming from Christopher's shield. And as you guys are walking, you begin to notice a light, an orange and red light in the distance. And it's fire. It's consuming the forest around you, and it is moving towards you at a slow pace.
So it's a light that's coming toward us.
It's the forest.
It's like a flame.
The forest ahead of you is engulfed.
Is
in
engulfing
flame.
flames, and it's coming towards us.
Yeah, not like unnaturally. Just the forest is burning,
It's
and you guys are
burning,
moving
and
towards
we're moving
it.
towards
so to
the
get
forest,
to get
okay.
to the mountain, you would have to get through the flame.
Okay.
So I want to approach the flames, and I want to gauge how hot they are.
Okay.
And depending on how hot they actually get, if the water that we're walking beside might be cooler than the flames, then I'm just going to kind of be near the river and ready to jump in the water if it gets too hot.
Okay. Can you make an intelligence check for me?
All right, so intelligence check by the dumb doofus.
Come on.
I crit failed.
So how many
this is hot.
how many healing spells do you have, Daniel?
I got plenty. Don't
So
worry.
you walk up to the flame and attempt to gauge how hot it is, and you, as you get closer, you kind of reach your hand out and like put your hand in the flame, and your hand catches fire, and you take 2 damage.
Hey guys, this fire is hot.
Okay, so I have a question.
Make a perception check, Christopher.
God damn it. It's an 8.
It's an 8. God damn it! I can't give you guys anything in this game. Damn you, Skull Splitter.
No, that wasn't Skull Splitter. That was another one. But so I had to make a perception check before I can even tell you what I want to do.
Well, we need to. Before that, we need to let his thing play out because he said he wanted to do something else.
I was kind of just gauging how hot the flames are going to get, and if they were super hot, then I was going to jump in the water, which might have been colder than the flames.
So-
and I don't
I
need a
mean,
rectal
okay.
thermometer for that.
I don't know, but like to me, as you know, just a fucking basic human being, if I see flames, I don't really need to know how hot they are to know that they're just hot.
Oh, and as a basic human being, do you also know how hot magical water is going to be compared to those flames?
God.
Fuck.
As a basic bitch, do you have pumpkin spice latte?
So, Bartholomew, as you stick your hand out and your hand gets burned, you pull it back and you look down towards the water as you start to move that direction. When it's about probably 7 or 8 feet from you towards the bank,
And then I
you
place
can-
my hand into the water. The same hand that just got burned. I place it into the water.
Do you want me to let? You just want to go ahead and do that?
I'm just going to go ahead and do that.
All right, so you walk down the bank, and you, as your hand nears the water, you can feel it very hot.
Is it as hot as the flames?
You stick your hand into the water, and as you're doing that, it's so hot on your claws, and they don't even have nerves, that you can feel it starting to singe your scaled hands, and you pull it back.
Okay.
Before you take any damage from
Okay.
it.
So both of them are very hot.
Yep.
Rectal thermometer confirmed.
All right, so we've accomplished that fire is hot.
And so is the water. apparently.
Can I
Hotter than
look
fire.
around?
Remember, it was getting warmer and warmer, and if it bears to reason that the water, the source of the magics, is coming from the mountain, and you guys are right at the base of the mountain, which is already
Goddamn
seen being
Hawaiian
erupted from
volcano.
fire. So,
And point of reference, this water might be so hot that it in fact is avoiding boiling. So
Okay, I want.
Shit.
Okay, I want to use thaumaturgy on the flames in the forest.
yes.
Okay. So I can cause flames to flicker, brighten, or dim or change color for 1 minute. So I want to bring the brightness of the flames down to where we can see what's going on through the forest, because obviously it's been burning things, and we're going to be able to have a better view if they're dimmed down and we can see through to see where we need to go and what we need to do.
Okay.
So I'm going to cast thaumaturgy on
Does
the
it give
flames.
a range of how, like, not how far you can cast it, but how far can you cast it?
30 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's how we're gonna do this. Since this is kind of a strange use of thaumaturgy, but it's creative and I like it. So you go up to the edge of the flame and you cast thaumaturgy, and as it leaves your hand, there is a path that splits open, and it goes for 30 feet in front of you, and it's about as wide as a person. So it just gives you barely enough room to move through.
Well,
And-
it just dims it. It doesn't. It just lets us view to see what's going on in there. I want to know if there's an easier path or something we can do instead of just like trying to get through this some way. I want to know if there's like a path that we can take through this if we did something with the water, with something else, because it's not going to put the flames out. It just dims them.
Well, it
So it
dims
just
it
brings
dims the
them
flame.
down.
It brings them down, and
Yes.
it allows you to see through the flames, and you can see that
Okay.
a lot of the trees and the shrubbery and all that it has definitely been felled, but it's charred wood and hot land. So I mean, that is your path to the mountain through this.
Okay. There's nothing.
So all around you in front is on fire. Now you can see at the end the 30 feet sight, because the light is emanating off your shield. What, 60 feet? So you can see
At 40 feet on my shield, yeah.
Okay, so you can see ahead of you 40 feet, and 30 feet is where your thaumaturgy ended, and there is no longer any fire
On the other side of the 30 feet.
on the other side of the 30 feet. It's just charred, like some smoking wood and
Okay,
embers.
so
Okay.
So DM, I dim this light. Does that mean that there's less flames?
yes,
in that
there's
spot?
still flames. but
Okay,
there's
cool.
less
So
of them.
as I do this, I run right through it. Just go that 30 feet. I'm fucking running right through it, and I'm gonna yell, "You guys probably should follow me."
And then I'm going to yell out, "Did you use your thermometer to see how hot it was?"
No, because I'm a goddamn fucking human being. I know how hot fire is, you piece of shit.
All right.
So I
This is
book
hotter
it.
than
I
Monica.
think Bartholomew and Christopher have like a bit of a beef going on.
Yeah, I
Like,
book it that like 30 feet, which is crazy because we're typically like pretty cool with each other.
Yeah, like
right
rubbing
now we're
each
kind of
other out.
up each other. Like we're just kind of pissed at each other.
I think this has been a stressful day. Like, you guys
Oh,
have
it's
been in
been
this
really
forest,
stressful.
and you guys can barely
We're
breathe.
real
and-
fucking stressed about it.
All right, so I need you to do two things for me.
Okay.
I need you to make an athletics check for one.
And get the fuck out of here.
7.
Oh, jeez. All right, well,
Is that a running thing?
that lends way to you not having to do the other check.
Wait, why? What's the other one?
You take off running and you jump over the first branch and you trip and you fall flat on your face.
Great.
As he starts taking
And
off
it
into
is-
the
This
woods,
is where Christopher dies.
as he starts taking off into the woods, I go up behind the path that he's made and I start running behind him.
Okay.
So as I'm down by the river, and there's basically a lot of flames between me and where Topher just casted his thaumaturgy and was able to diminish a lot of the flames in a straight path. So as he casted thaumaturgy, it diminished the flames. He saw an opportunity and he starts running for it. So as he takes off into the flames, he kind of disappears from my perspective. So I run up to where he entered at and kind of look down as he's running and see him trip. So I take off running behind him. And my goal basically is to just run straight through the entire path. But I also want to try to grab him
Okay.
as I'm running through it.
Okay, so I'm going to make you do the same check at first just because you see him fall and then you're going to try to pick him up. So make the same athletics check to start to get through without any issues, because this is a big thing you got, because you're leaping not only over a tree but also over the flame too.
23.
23? Awesome. So you, just with your massive size, just jump this thing. Your vertical is insane. And you land on the other side. The ground is hot under your feet, and you know you need to keep moving. So you keep going, and you reach down, and you grab, and this is the only other check I'm going to make you do here. Make a strength check. And I think you should be good on this one.
8.
8? Okay. You reach down and you grab Christopher, and as your claws grab him, you can feel his garments in your hands, and you go to scoop him up, but you miss. So the choice you have to make now is: do you want to stop and have your feet burn beneath you, and possibly take damage, or do you want to keep going? And while you're pondering that, Hamilton, I guess, wants to speak.
I am still on his shoulder.
Oh, okay.
Can I try to grab
Also-
him?
Yeah, I mean,
So I reach down and try to grab him and fail.
And then Hamilton just, I see him slip out of his grip, and so I'm going to try to basically scurry down his arm, because from where I'm perched out on his shoulder, I am not big enough to be able to reach Christopher and actually get to him.
okay.
So I'm just going to try to slide down his arm and lock my legs around his hand, and then basically just reach down and grab a hold of Topher.
Okay.
This is really sweet, guys.
Okay, my heart hurts for you.
I really
We're all
appreciate
holding
you guys.
hands.
So
Also-
go ahead,
Help me and
Hamilton. Give me an acrobatics check. You're sliding down this giant dragonborn's arm, and you reach up and you grab hold, and you're trying to grab something else below you as Bartholomew is holding onto you. Go for it.
That's a 12. It's okay.
Okay, that'll work. You grab Topher with both of your hands.
Yes.
And you pull him with all of your might. And then Topher has already started to lift himself up. So as you pull him, you don't have the strength to lift him
Right.
up off the ground, but it definitely shoots him up to his feet as you are also being pulled by Bartholomew.
Yeah.
So it lifts him to his feet, and the Bartholomew and Topher, you guys continue running. In 10, 20, 30 feet, and you guys clear these flames, but now you're on charred ground. Benedict, where are you at? You gonna take off running as well, or are you gonna...
Yeah, might as well.
All right, go ahead and give me that acrobatics check. So, you definitely jump over this thing and trip. You're very short.
Am I gonna take damage from these flames?
Probably.
No, damage is for... I had it preset. If you roll below a 5, then you definitely would have taken damage.
Whew.
Yeah, you're good. Barely skirted by, but you're
Sweaty brow.
You're good. So you jump and you face plant on the ground there for a little bit, and you get back up, and then you take off running shortly behind, as all of you clear the flames, and you are now into the charred lands surrounding Mount Hottenau. So as you guys come out of the forest, you can see the mountain in the distance and the lava and smoke rolling off the side of the mountain. There's almost like a chiseled gray cylindrical pattern in the side of the mountain that kind of circles down the side like a spiral. It almost seems like it was created to look like this. And embedded 25, 30, 45 feet is this massive door with elaborate and eloquent inscriptions surrounding in a language that you guys can't quite make out from this distance. As you guys begin to move, you guys have to be careful, for the landscape is still ashy and with fire, and there's branches and flame and lava and rocks flying from the sky. And you guys are careful as you are moving over this landscape, and you start to climb the rocks to the mountain, and you guys all assist each other. Vyswine and Bartholomew are being very helpful in pushing you guys up the rocks, and you guys are working together to get their large dragon bodies up with you. And eventually you guys get to the point where you guys probably are a good 25, 35 feet away from the door. And at this point, there is now a staircase, marble staircase leading up to the door. You could tell it is marble just from the formation of the rock. But it's definitely aged. It's damaged. There's been a lot of rocks have fallen from the explosion and crushed parts of the stairway, and it's huge, hundreds of feet wide. So you guys are standing at the base of this stairway. What do you guys want to do?
I'd like to go up the stairs.
I'm in agreement.
I would like to perceive if the door looks like it could be opened.
So Hamilton, you start to climb the staircase, and Bartholomew and Benedict, you follow as well. And behind you, as you guys start to do this, you guys don't notice, but Christopher's eyes roll to the back of his head and they turn completely white. And he falls to his knees, and there's silence. I don't know how
Tandem
you met
bicycle.
me. I don't know why. I can't turn around and say goodbye.
Oh,
All I
shit.
know is when I'm with you, you make me free. I swim through your veins like a fish in the sea.
And
I'm
we just
singing,
lost Ryan.
Follow me.
We're officially taking applications for Bartholomew. So if you're a big dumb douchebag, please apply. Hold on. No, I've got the song.
Oh my god.
Can this be the song that plays every time we come out of a battle?
Whoa! That's a not 20, bro.